The main thing is simplify the game plan more, where you can get more reps throughout the course of the week at like one certain play. That kind of limits you at times and on there's certain teams. But you know, when you play a team like Iowa State, that they're very base and they play very hard, and they keep the ball in front of you and they create turnovers by doing a few things. So your playbook doesn't have to be expanded tremendously. So it's more about just kind of limiting the playbook and focusing in on certain plays and getting more reps this week added, so they can feel a little bit more comfortable going into the game.
They mentioned physicality, and not just being up front either. What do you need out of the skill position players, physically to get where you want to be?
And that was the thing. Dana was the one who talked about the physicality up front, after the game. But once you watch it, it was the physicality across the board. And I thought Oklahoma State got up in our face, and we had trouble getting off press coverage, and we couldn't get any separation, especially in those conditions and how the flow of the game was going. It was tough to make accurate throws, especially when we couldn't get any separation. So that's definitely got to be something addressed this week in terms of, the little things, focusing on the attention to detail. Making sure that we're having a physicality in terms of our route running and our perimeter blocking. They do a good job with Iowa State in terms of a lot of disruption on the perimeter, and our kids got to match that on the perimeter if we're going to have some success.
How do you start finding holes when they are only bringing 3 and then dropping 8, especially like third and long situation?
Right, yeah, you've got to take what they give you, and you've got to execute it with the physicality. I think what we learned last week with Oklahoma State, and we didn't match the physicality that they brought. That's definitely got to be the intentions this week, because they're dropping. What they're really saying is they believe in their 3 defensive linemen that they can match our 5 offensive linemen. So we've got to try to win that battle and take these chunk plays. They do a really good job of keeping the ball in front of them. I think they've only had so many. Like when you look at the big play tape, there's not very many big plays on this team. Because they keep it all in front and they rally to it and they can tackle. So it's going to be important for us to take what they give us, match to the physicality, and be very patient. Don't get out of the game plan, and just try to take our gains in chunks.
It's almost hard to ask questions about a sound football team, and that's what they are all the way across the board.
They are.
I mean, the coach appreciates it, but I guess a common fan doesn't really appreciate all the things that they do you?
Yeah, they do a really good job in terms of keeping it in front of them. What was interesting is that their mindset changed after the first three, 4 games of the season. They were predominantly a 4-down team for those first few games of the season, and now they're all 3 down and keep it in front of you. And it really, they're saying too, is that we're going to be very disciplined and we're going to wait for you guys to screw it up. And that's what we've got to be patient as an offense and capitalize and understand that each play is going to be very important, because they're going to make us earn everything that we're going to get.
Ball security, it seems like important. I know too, Hill was a little loose in the pocket with the ball, and they knock it out there and do things. That's something you have to keep with you guys too, I guess.
Yeah, they do a good job at creating turnovers. They got like 17, I think, on the year, and that's a lot to do with playing sound and playing hard. And I think that when you have a lot of defenders around the ball, they're going to be there for any time the ball possibly pops out. Like I try to preach that on offense, is I want you guys running to the ball in case someone does fumble. We're there to help it out and prevent turnovers. So, that's definitely the ball security and physicality are going to be the 2 points of emphasis that you're going to hear the most out of our coaching staff this week.
Was the most disappointing thing last week the fact that they punched you in your mouth and your guys didn't respond the way they did maybe against Virginia Tech and some of the other teams this year?
Yeah, I thought that. They never, effort's never an issue. Those kids go out there and they play hard. They do. I just thought the physicality standpoint was something that was a little bit disappointing. And normally these kids are pretty resilient through adversity and they find a way. I just thought it was kind of one of those days the ball wasn't bouncing our way, and we couldn't find a way to get the ball moving the way we liked to. They still finished the first half strong and the second half strong. It's not like they ever quit. It's just we couldn't find our answers throughout the course of the game, and a lot of that had to do with the physicality and the mindset of that.